An annual tradition here at training camp, the owners, Jimmy and Dee Haslam, spoke Sunday in Berea after practice. It was a very different tone, and one of the things that stood out to me, and I think Jimmy Haslam even said this, you have your quarterback, and that makes everything a lot easier for this ownership group when you have that position settled and you believe in the guy you have in that position, you believe you can win games, and if you believe you can win games, everything else is a lot easier, Mary Kay. But that was not all that they talked about today.
Yeah, I think in addition to feeling like they have their quarterback, they also feel like they have their head coach, and Jimmy did say that he feels he will be the head coach for a long time, Freddie Kitchens. But one of the takeaways that I had from talking to Jimmy and Dee today was about Kareem Hunt. I asked them, after this little minor dust-up that he had outside of a bar downtown on June 29th, you know, how do you feel about things, how things are going with him, and those kinds of things. And Dee, point blank, came right out and said he has work to do if he wants to stay with the Cleveland Browns organization, and it is up to him. So they are watching him very, very closely. He has to toe the line.
It was sort of a reminder that we're still a long way from Week 10. Scott, what was your takeaway?
Yeah, speaking of being a long way from something, let's talk about 2020. We all know that the Browns are getting new uniforms coming down the pike here. And we've heard, I think back at the owners' meetings, Dee mentioned how they knew what they were going to be, but they're still being finalized. Well, months later, they're still being finalized. We didn't get much of an update on that, but she said they weren't changing the helmet, which I think Browns fans, a lot of Browns fans will be happy to hear. And as far as this season goes, they asked to wear the color rush a little more. There seemed to be a good reaction to those last season. The players seem to like them, but there needs to be some hoops jumped through before that can actually happen. So if you're not a fan of the current uniforms, you might get more color rush this season.
And if fans do get a lot of color rush, I think everything this year really is coming up Cleveland Browns because everybody seems to love those uniforms. We'll have coverage of everything Jimmy and Dee Haslam had to say at their press conference. It's all at cleveland.com/Browns.